Young and restless Jordan and Ian made it clear that they intend to exact revenge on Claire and Mariah if they failed to behave appropriately, contrite for abandoning them and taking up with the Newman family. Given that every other scene these days tells us just how much Claire loves her new life, it's a foregone conclusion that Jordan will decide to punish Claire for her disloyalty. What better way to do that than to break her heart? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the best way to hurt Claire would be to go after either her new family or her new love. But whom will she target? Well, it may not matter, as the outcome is likely to be the same regardless. What do we mean by that? Keep reading. Claire's new romance with Kyle is blossoming into a full-blown love story. Jordan's already in the loop on the cozy new relationship and could decide that her great niece needs to watch him die as retribution for turning her back on her. Youngster Harrison proved to be an easy target in Jordan's last evil go-round, but Kyle will be a tougher nut to crack. That said, we don't think for a moment that she wouldn't take her best, shot at it. Also in the line of fire is Claire's mother, Victoria. In Jordan's twisted mind, she raised Claire, so the young woman rejecting her and her indoctrination, in favor of embracing her biological mom and rejoicing in joining the Newman fold, is the height of treasonous behavior. What better way to punish Claire than to separate her from her mother for good? Victoria's death would devastate Claire and tear the Newmans to shreds. Talk about killing two birds with one stone. The bottom line, however, is that Kyle is an Abbott and Victoria is a Newman. Neither of these core characters are likely to be shuffling off this mortal coil anytime soon, but there is someone Claire loves who is more, shall we say, expendable. That person would be Claire's father, Cole. Given that Jordan's entire agenda purportedly revolves around vindicating her sister Eve's death, it doesn't seem reasonable that she would target her nephew, but we're sure the madwoman could find a way to rationalize it. Perhaps she'd tell herself that Claire left her no choice but to send Cole to his grave, and that she's reuniting her late sister with her son. She sure didn't mind luring him to her house and driving him when this whole nightmare kicked off. It's also possible that Cole will become a casualty of Jordan, aiming her crosshairs at Victoria or Kyle. If he jumps in to play hero, as Cole is wont to do, he might end up taking a bullet and experiencing a noble but heartbreaking end. Either way, our hunch is that Jordan's inevitable revenge plot against Claire means that Cole is living on borrowed time. Victor dropping his grudge and welcoming Victoria's ex into the fold was not a good sign. Seasoned young and restless fans and soaps readers know all too well how this works. The most expendable character is typically the one to go. Some would even say the author-turned-Oxford professor needs to go, given that his rekindled romance with Victoria is not exactly burning up the small screen.